The moving truck showed up at my house at exactly 8:12 in the morning on June 14th. White truck, orange logo, 3 guys standing in my driveway like they belonged there. The problem, nobody told me I was the one supposedly moving. 3 weeks earlier, I got a text message that wasn't meant for me. One text, 22 words. It mentioned my house, a moving date, and a plan my own family thought I'd never see coming. Here's something life teaches you when you hit 68. People think kindness means blindness. They were wrong. Stay with me here. Before I tell you how a wrong number almost cost me my home on Forest Drive in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, tell me something down below. Where are you watching from, and what time is it where you are right now? And if you enjoy real stories about family trust and the moments that change everything, subscribe and settle in, because this one took away something from me, and it gave me something back too. I was 68 years old when this happened, which is an age where people start making strange assumptions about you. They assume you don't notice things. They assume technology confuses you. They assume kindness means weakness. And if you've got gray hair and drive an old truck that rattles a little when the temperature drops below 30, people especially think they can tell your story for you. My name is Sullivan Foster. Most people call me Sully. I lived alone on Forest Drive SE in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, in a 2-story house my wife Eleanor and I bought back in 1993 for $118,500. At the time, it felt impossibly expensive. I still remember sitting in the title office beside Eleanor while she squeezed my hand under the table because she knew I was nervous. "You investigate million-dollar fraud cases," she'd whispered. "You're scared of a mortgage. I trust criminals more than banks," I'd told her. She laughed so hard, the woman handling our paperwork smiled without knowing why. That's who Eleanor was. She could take fear and make it smaller. She'd been gone 5 years when this story happened. Pancreatic cancer. 14 months from diagnosis to funeral. You ever lose somebody who carried half your gravity, feels strange afterward. Like your feet still touch the ground, but somehow less of you does. I still talk to her sometimes, mostly when nobody could hear. Don't look at me like that. If you've lived long enough, you know exactly what I mean. Our house sat near the end of a quiet stretch of Forest Drive, blue siding, white trim, a sugar maple Eleanor planted 22 years earlier that had grown so tall it shaded half the front yard. The mailbox leaned slightly to the left. I kept meaning to fix it. Never did. Life works like that. The small jobs wait. The important ones sneak up on you. I drove a silver 2009 Ford F-15 with 187,000 miles on it. The air conditioning made noises that sounded medically concerning. The radio only liked certain stations. And every winter I promised myself I'd buy something newer. Every spring I decided I didn't need to. My mornings followed a routine. Wake up at 6, coffee, Folgers black silk, 2 eggs, toast, local news, check weather, complain about weather, classic Midwestern retirement schedule. 3 mornings a week I'd drive to Riley's Cafe near Mount Vernon Road, small place, red vinyl booths, coffee hot enough to remove paint, waitress named Denise who called everybody hon. I'd sit with Walter Brennan. Walt, 70 years old, retired electrician. My best friend since Ronald Reagan was president. Walt looked like somebody carved him out of old oak wood and coffee. Broad shoulders, permanent squint, voice rough enough to sand furniture. We'd been friends 35 years, long enough to stop pretending we were impressed by each other. "You look terrible," Walt told me one Tuesday. "You look terrible first," I said. "Fair point. That's friendship after 60. No performance, no pretending. Just accumulated loyalty." Walt lost his wife Marlene for 8 minutes once. Not emotionally, literally. She'd gone into Target while he sat in the truck. Forgot she told him, called police. Nearly filed a missing person report. She came back carrying throw pillows. "You left me," He told her. I told you I was going inside. No, you didn't. I absolutely did. I would have remembered. You don't remember your own birthday. I laughed so hard coffee came out my nose. Life needs people who remind you you're still alive. Walt was one of those people. My son Nathan lived 15 minutes away in Marion, 41 years old, systems engineer, quiet, good man. Too quiet sometimes. Nathan had Eleanor's kindness and my tendency to avoid unnecessary conflict. Bad combination. Conflict doesn't disappear when ignored. It grows, like mold or weeds or subscription services you forgot to cancel. Nathan married Melissa 11 years earlier. Melissa Foster, 39, office manager at a dental practice, smart, organized, driven, beautiful in the polished way magazine advertisements try to manufacture. Melissa wasn't evil. I need you to understand something. Real life rarely gives you villains wearing black hats. Mostly you get ordinary people making selfish decisions one small step at a time. Melissa grew up poor, not we skipped vacations, poor, real poor, single mother, 3 apartments before high school, electric bills paid late, clothes from thrift stores. She built stability with both hands. I respected that. Still do. But fear changes shape over time. When you've grown up without security, sometimes you start chasing it too hard. Sometimes enough stops feeling like enough. Nathan and Melissa had my granddaughter Emma, 9 years old. Gap-toothed smile. Soccer, cleats permanently muddy. Talked like thoughts outran her mouth. Smart like Eleanor. Dangerously observant. Emma loved coming to my house. We baked chocolate chip cookies, watched baseball, played card games. She cheated terribly. Thought she hit it well. Grandpa, she'd whisper while stealing cards. You saw nothing. I saw everything. No evidence. You sound like a lawyer. You sound old. 9-year-olds become comedians without permission. She kept me moving, kept me anchored. After Eleanor died, holidays changed. Everything changes. You keep traditions. They just sound quieter. Thanksgiving moved to Nathan's house. Christmas mornings became coordinated schedules. Birthdays involved calendars. Adult children love you. They just love time differently. Melissa started making comments about 2 years before everything happened. Little comments, harmless sounding. Big house for one person. Must be a lot to maintain. Senior communities are getting really nice now. Less yard work. More convenience. You know that look people give when they're testing an idea before saying the real thing? That look. I'd smile, change subject, talk weather, football, gas prices, anything. One Sunday afternoon, Melissa stood in my kitchen holding coffee. Forest Drive is valuable now, she said. Property market keeps climbing. Guess I got lucky, I said. You ever think about downsizing? No. You should. Why, just practical. I like practical. She smiled. Too quickly. Conversation moved on, but something stayed. Little discomfort. Small enough to ignore, big enough to remember. People who spend years investigating fraud learn something strange. The biggest warning signs rarely arrive screaming. They arrive smiling. Tuesday mornings belong to routine. Routine creates comfort. Comfort lowers defenses, mine included. Tuesday, 7:42 a.m. Kitchen table, coffee, eggs, rain tapping windows. Phone buzzed beside my plate. Simple sound. Ordinary moment. One text message. 22 words. And suddenly my peaceful little life cracked open. Rain changes the sound of a house. I don't know if you've noticed that. A quiet house becomes quieter. Floorboards sound louder. The refrigerator hum feels bigger. Even your own thoughts seem to echo differently. That Tuesday morning, May 21st, rain tapped steadily against my kitchen windows. while I sat at the same table Eleanor and I bought from a furniture store on First Avenue back in 1998. Solid oak, heavy enough to survive tornado season, heavy enough to survive children, not heavy enough to survive secrets. I had half a piece of toast left, coffee cooling beside my elbow, KCRG TV talking about storms moving across eastern Iowa. My phone buzzed. Nothing dramatic. No movie soundtrack, no lightning strike, just vibration against old wood. I picked it up without thinking. Unknown number. Area code local. Message preview showed, moving date June 14th still works. His house should be available by then. I frowned, read it again, then opened the message fully. More appeared. Not much, just enough. Melissa said don't mention paperwork yet. Need everything lined up before he changes his mind. Heather, I stared at the screen. One thing about getting older. People think age slows your instincts, mine sharpened, because experience teaches pattern recognition, and patterns tell stories. I set my phone down, picked it back up, read it a third time. My kitchen suddenly felt colder, not physically. You know what I mean. That strange shift when ordinary life steps sideways. Melissa, my daughter-in-law, paperwork, my house, moving date, June 14th, available by then. I looked around my kitchen, my refrigerator, my coffee maker, the little crack in the corner cabinet Eleanor accidentally made in 2007 when she dropped a cast iron skillet. Nobody moved into this house. Nobody moved me out. Nobody had discussed June 14th. Not once. I checked the sender information. Phone number wasn't saved, but I recognized the name. Heather Doyle. Local realtor. 40-something. Dark hair, sharp dresser. Worked properties around Cedar Rapids and Marion. Melissa knew Heather. I knew that because 6 months earlier, Heather sold a house 2 streets over from Nathan's neighborhood. Melissa mentioned her. She's amazing, Melissa had said, knows how to move property fast. Move property. Funny phrase. I suddenly hated it. My first instinct, call Nathan, demand answers, get angry. Maybe 20 years earlier, that's what I would have done. Not anymore. Age doesn't always make you wiser, but experience teaches patience, and patience catches lies. I stood slowly, carried my coffee toward the sink. Rain hit harder outside. Gray sky, wet pavement, my silver Ford sitting in the driveway. Normal morning, completely normal, which somehow made everything feel stranger. I picked my phone up again, read the message one more time. Need everything lined up before he changes his mind. He, not Sullivan, not Dad, not Sully. He, interesting. People reveal things through language, distance, ownership, intent. 34 years investigating insurance fraud teaches you that. I haven't told you much about my old job. Probably should. I spent 34 years working property fraud investigations, insurance scams, false claims, forged documents, people inventing damage, creating fake ownership trails, building stories designed to survive basic questions. Most fraud fails for one reason. Greed creates sloppiness, always. The smart criminals, they scare you. The greedy ones, they trip over their own feet. I learned that in 1998 from a contractor outside Des Moines trying to fake flood damage. Forgot one thing. Family vacation photos hanging on his wall. Photos dated 3 weeks after the supposed disaster. Case closed. Human beings miss details. Patterns don't. My pulse stayed calm, which surprised me. Maybe because something inside me already knew. Melissa pushing downsizing conversations, questions about the property, repeated comments. Forest Drive is valuable now. Big house for one person, easier lifestyle, need everything lined up. Pattern. I grabbed my reading glasses, sat back down, opened county property records online, old habit, address, Forest Drive. My address, property ownership unchanged. Good. No filings, no transfer, no obvious problems. Still, something sat wrong, like hearing a familiar song with one note missing. I looked at the message again. Heather, paperwork. Changes his mind. Available by June 14th? No. Not available. Occupied. By me. I called Walt. 3 rings. You're alive, he answered. Disappointing, I said. Morning to you too. You busy? I'm retired. Meaning I'm extremely busy doing nothing. I got a weird question. Only weird? You know Heather Doyle. Pause. Realtor Heather. Yeah. Little intense. Intense. Sold my cousin's place last year. Anything else drives white Lexus SUV. Helpful. I contain multitudes. I lean back. Walt. Yeah. I think I got a text not meant for me. Spam. No. Silence. Longer this time. Walt knew my voice. 35 years friendship teaches people weather patterns inside each other. What kind of text, he asked. I read it. Entire thing. No interruption. No joke. Nothing. When I finished, Walt exhaled slowly. You tell Nathan? No. Melissa? No. Good. You think I'm overreacting? No. You think I'm underreacting? Maybe. I rubbed my forehead. Walt. Yeah. You remember what Eleanor always said, Risky, which one? Don't accuse before understanding. She also said don't ignore things because you're scared to know. Fair point. I hated when dead wives stayed right. Walt spoke again. What are you thinking? I'm thinking somebody made a mistake. And mistakes tell truth faster than honesty. You gonna investigate? I wasn't planning to. Liar. Little bit. Need company? No. Need coffee? Already got coffee. Need backup? I smiled despite myself. No. Pause. Then Walt said quietly, Be careful, Sully. I know. No. His voice changed. Serious now. If this is what it sounds like, be careful what answer you're looking for. I didn't respond, because he wasn't wrong. People think discovering betrayal hurts most. Sometimes what hurts most is realizing how long it existed before you noticed. I hung up. Kitchen quiet again. Rain, softer now. 8:11 a.m. I looked toward Eleanor's old file cabinet near the hallway. Gray metal. Scratched side. 20 years of paperwork inside. Insurance records, mortgage documents, property files, old habits, old systems, old instincts. Stay with me here. Because this next part matters. I wasn't panicking. I wasn't angry. Not yet. I was remembering. And remembering something dangerous. Fraud has a smell. Not literally. Not perfume. Not cigarette smoke. Pattern. Pressure. Urgency. People pushing outcomes before foundations exist. Need everything lined up before he changes his mind. That sentence bothered me more than anything. Because nobody had asked my mind. Which meant one possibility sat quietly beneath everything else. Someone thought they already owned my answer. I stood up, walked toward the gray file cabinet, opened bottom drawer, property records, trust documents, insurance files, 34 years of instincts waking back up. And suddenly retirement didn't feel very retired anymore. There are sounds you forget until life pulls you backward. The scrape of metal drawers, paper sliding against paper, old folders bending at the corners. I hadn't opened Eleanor's gray filing cabinet in months, maybe longer, not because I avoided it, because life settles into routines after loss. You stop reaching towards certain things, not because they hurt less, because you learn where to place the hurt so it doesn't stop you from moving. The bottom drawer stuck halfway, always had. I pulled harder. It opened with the same stubborn resistance I'd complained about since 2011. Eleanor, we should replace this thing. We will. We never did. Funny how marriage works. You think you're building a life. Half the time you're really building future memories. The folder I wanted sat exactly where I'd left it. Property, dark blue tab, handwritten label, my handwriting. I carried it back to the kitchen table, rain still falling. Coffee cold now. Didn't matter. My attention had moved somewhere else. I opened the folder. House purchase records, mortgage release paperwork, insurance policies, property tax statements, refinance documents from 2008. Everything normal, everything boring, which sounds comforting until boring becomes suspicious. Stay with me here. Because what happened next wasn't dramatic. No hidden camera footage, no shocking revelation, just something small. Small enough most people would have missed it. I didn't. Because 34 years investigating fraud trains your brain in strange ways. You stop looking for big mistakes. Big mistakes are rare. Small mistakes expose people. I found myself remembering a case from 2003, Cedar Falls. Couple filed insurance claim after storm damage. Roof supposedly destroyed. Photos looked convincing. Contractor reports, repair estimates, everything clean, too clean. I drove out personally, looked around, found the problem in 12 seconds. Leaves, old dry leaves sitting undisturbed in roof gutters. Big storm would have washed them away. Case collapsed. $32,000 attempted fraud. Failed because somebody forgot leaves. Human beings miss details. Greed makes details invisible. I pulled my laptop closer, opened Lynn County property records again, typed my address, Forest Drive, ownership information loaded, Sullivan Foster, correct, no pending transfer, no active filing, nothing obvious, good, except my eyes caught something, document activity 3 weeks earlier, request logged, information access, public record inquiry, property verification, not illegal, public information. Anybody could request it, but timing matters. Timing tells stories. I leaned back 3 weeks. Interesting. June 14th, 3 weeks away. Request access, property inquiry, paperwork, Melissa. Need everything lined up. My pulse stayed level. That's another thing people misunderstand about investigators. Good investigators don't get emotional first. Emotion blurs sequence. Sequence reveals truth. I picked up my phone, called Lynn County Recorder's Office. Woman answered. Professional voice, measured. Lynn County Recorder's Office. Hi, Sullivan Foster. What can I help you with today? I've got a property question. She transferred me. Donna Ramirez picked up, 61 years old. Worked county records forever. Sharp woman, patient, liked precise questions. Haven't heard from you in a while, Sully. Retirement softened me. No, it didn't. Fair. What do you need? I explained. Carefully, no accusations, no drama, just facts. Property inquiry, recent activity, question about records. Donna typed. Keyboard clicks, pause, longer pause. Then, interesting. I sat straighter. What kind of interesting? Not bad interesting, Joe. Donna. I'm looking. Donna. Hold on. You ever notice government employees move slower? The more important information becomes drives normal people crazy. Investigators learn patience. Finally, looks like somebody requested verification information. Who can't provide identity. Public request, yes. Anything filed, no. You sure? Yes. Nothing pending, no transfer request. No ownership adjustment? No legal filing. I exhaled slowly. Good. Maybe this was nothing. Maybe Melissa mentioned property value. Maybe Heather sent wrong message. Maybe? Donna spoke again. Wait. My stomach tightened. What? There's something else. Donna. Somebody requested signature verification procedures. Silence. I blinked. What? Guidelines. For what? Property transfer documentation. My fingers tightened around my coffee mug. Cold coffee. Cold hand. Donna. Yeah? Who asked that? Law firms. Title companies. People unfamiliar with process. people unfamiliar with process. Melissa wasn't unfamiliar. Melissa handled paperwork professionally every day. Office manager, organized, detailed. No, not unfamiliar. Planning, different thing. I thanked Donna, hung up, kitchen quiet again, refrigerator humming, rain softer now. My heartbeat finally changing, little faster, little heavier, not panic, pattern recognition. Stay with me, because this matters. Fraud rarely starts with theft. Fraud starts with assumption. What assumption sat underneath all this simple that I wouldn't notice? That age meant slower, that retirement meant softer, that being alone meant vulnerable. People think widowers become easier to move, easier to pressure, easier to manage. Sometimes they're right. Loneliness changes people, makes them tolerate things, ignore things, accept things. After Eleanor died, there were months I would have signed almost anything just to avoid conflict. But grief changes shape. 5 years later, different man, stronger, quieter, harder to fool. I opened another folder. Trust documents, estate planning, insurance beneficiaries. Eleanor always believed paperwork mattered. People think love protects families, she'd say. Paperwork protects families. At the time I laughed. Romantic. I'm serious. I know. No, you don't. Maybe she was right, actually. She usually was. I scanned documents. Nothing strange. Still. My instincts kept moving. Need everything lined up before he changes his mind. I kept coming back to it because it implied timeline, pressure, urgency, somebody moving pieces, somebody planning around me, not with me, around me. My phone buzzed. Nathan, speak of the devil. Hey, Dad. Hey. You busy Saturday? Depends. Emma's soccer game. I'll be there. Good. Pause. Normal. Easy. Familiar. Then Melissa said maybe dinner after. Melissa said, interesting? Sure. You okay? Why? You sound tired. I'm 68. Fair point. Tiny laugh. Same laugh he'd had since middle school. Same kid. Different man. You need anything? Nathan asked. No. You sure? Yeah. Love you, Dad. Love you too. Call ended. I stared at my phone. Nathan sounded normal. Completely normal. Which complicated things. Because deception gets easier when ordinary life keeps moving beside it. School pickup, dinner plans, mortgage payments, family group texts. Life doesn't pause for betrayal. Life keeps wearing normal clothes. I stood, walked toward hallway, stopped, looked toward Eleanor's photograph. Living room shelf, blue sweater, wind blowing her hair, Lake Michigan vacation. You seen this? I said quietly. No answer? Of course. But somehow speaking helped. I walked back, sat down, opened laptop again, started making notes, timeline, dates, people, connections, old instincts fully awake now, retirement gone, investigator back, and one realization settled into place hard enough I couldn't ignore it anymore. Melissa wasn't hoping I'd decide to move. She was preparing for it, planning around it, counting on it, and whatever game she thought she was playing, she had no idea what game I used to play for a living. People think betrayal feels explosive, like shouting, like slammed doors, like somebody standing in your living room screaming things they can never take back. Sometimes it does. But sometimes betrayal looks like baked chicken, polite smiles, and a child asking for extra mashed potatoes. Nathan invited me over Thursday night. 6:30, he'd said. Melissa's making dinner. Melissa's making dinner. Funny sentence. 2 days earlier, it would have sounded normal. Now it sounded like evidence. You know that feeling when your brain notices something before your emotions catch up. That I got there at 6:28, 2 minutes early. Midwestern rule. On time means late, early means respectful. Nathan and Melissa lived in Marion 15 minutes northeast if traffic cooperated. 3-bedroom subdivision house, built 2015, gray siding, black shutters. Basketball hoop Nathan swore he'd use more. Never did. Melissa opened the door. "Hey, Sully." Not Dad, not Sullivan, Sully. Friendly voice, easy smile, blue sweater, hair pulled back, normal, completely normal, which somehow made everything worse. "Hey," I said. Nathan came around corner. "Hey, Dad." Quick hug, little distracted, phone still in hand, work brain, engineer brain. Nathan could fix a server outage affecting 5 states, but avoided emotional conversations like they carried radiation. Emma came flying toward me. "Grandpa." Impact directly into ribs. 9-year-old hugs aren't hugs. They're collisions. "You getting bigger?" I asked. "No, you are. I'm literally 9. That's what concerns me." She rolled her eyes. "You say that every time." "Because science keeps proving me right," she laughed. Melissa smiled from kitchen. "You want iced tea?" "Sure." "Sweet or unsweet?" "Half and half." "Still impossible." "I've committed to being difficult." "At least you're consistent. Easy, normal, comfortable. Almost enough to make me wonder if I'd imagined everything, almost." Dinner smelled good, garlic, butter, rosemary. Melissa could cook, always could. People aren't one thing. I need you to understand that. Bad decisions don't erase good qualities. Good qualities don't excuse bad decisions. People carry both. That's what makes life messy. Table set nicely. Real plates, cloth napkins. Melissa always liked presentation, order, control, little details. My eyes drifted automatically. Kitchen counter, mail stack, school paperwork, laptop bag, calendar board, old habits, observation, no conclusions, just information. Nathan sat across from me, Emma beside me, Melissa at end. Chicken, green beans, mashed potatoes. Dinner started normal. School stories. Nathan talking about work migration systems, Emma talking soccer, Melissa talking office staffing issues. Life, ordinary. Then, there it was. Melissa, gentle voice, casual tone. "You know," she said, "Diane's dad moved into Cedar Glen Senior Living last month." I kept cutting chicken. Good for Diane's dad. He loves it. I'm happy for him. No yard work. Wonderful. Activities. I enjoy activities. Smaller place. Sounds smaller. Nathan shifted slightly. Tiny movement. Most people miss tiny movements. Investigators don't. Melissa smiled. "You ever think about it there, finally?" I took drink slowly, set glass down. "No. Forest Drive is a lot of house. I like house. Maintenance, though. I'm maintaining it. Property taxes. Paying them. Utilities. Covered." Smile, smile, smile. Conversation rhythm, but pressure underneath. You know that look. Person asking question while pretending they aren't asking question. Nathan cleared throat. "Dad likes his place." Melissa nodded immediately. "Of course. Too fast. I just worry." Worry. Interesting word. Concern disguises control better than criticism. Emma interrupted. "Grandpa beat me at cards Saturday." "Fair and square," I said. "You cheated." "I've never cheated." Nathan laughed. "You absolutely taught me card tricks when I was 11. Education, fraud, creative strategy." Melissa smiled politely. Not really listening, thinking, watching, calculating. My old instincts noticed something else. Nathan wasn't making eye contact, not much, not naturally. Fork, plate, phone, drink, window, everywhere, except me. People avoiding guilt avoid eyes. Not always, but often. I changed subject. "Truck still running okay?" Nathan brightened immediately. Safer topic. Mostly. Mostly means expensive. Transmission, maybe. "Told you by Toyota." "You always say that." "Because I'm right. You drove Ford 30 years. That doesn't make me correct." Emma laughed. Melissa smiled again, smaller smile this time. Conversation flowed, normal, comfortable. Then Emma said it, completely casually, completely innocently. Mom says Grandpa's room could be mine. Everything stopped, not literally, but inside me. Fork halfway up. Nathan froze. Melissa froze. Emma kept eating. 9-year-olds drop truth bombs, then ask for more gravy. What? I asked carefully. Emma shrugged. When Grandpa moves? Silence. Melissa moved first, fast, too fast. Emma. What? Eat your dinner. I am. Nathan finally looked at me. There it was. Eye contact, brief, nervous, guilty, interesting. I kept voice level. When Grandpa moves where Emma pointed, smaller place? Silence. Melissa laughed, small laugh, artificial. Oh my gosh. She misunderstood. Did she? Emma frowned. No, I didn't. Sweetheart? You said, oh, Emma? Sharper now? Child quiet? Nathan drinking water? Melissa smiling, too controlled? I looked down at plate. Chicken cold now? Butter hardening? Funny things your brain notices. I don't remember mentioning moving chocolate, I said. Melissa immediately no. Nothing decided. Just conversations. What conversations? Pause. Small. Fraction second. Enough. General conversations. Interesting. Nathan spoke finally. Dad? Voice careful. Melissa just means someday. Someday. Convenient word? Flexible? Hard to challenge? Easy to hide inside? I nodded slowly. Someday. Yeah? Nathan relieved immediately. Too relieved. Conversation recovered. Kind of? School? Work? Soccer? Normal topics. But room changed? Pressure? Tiny crack? Nobody mentioning it? Everybody feeling it? Except Emma. She wanted dessert. Kids survive tension, adults create. After dinner, Nathan went outside, checking grill, probably needing air. Melissa loaded dishwasher, Emma upstairs. Just me and Melissa, kitchen, quiet, water running, dish clinking. She didn't look at me. Emma talks, she said. Kids do. She misunderstands things. Sometimes. You're not upset. Should I be? Finally. Eye contact, brief, measured. Of course not. Smile. Smile again. Always smile. Forest Drive means a lot to you, she said quietly. Yes, I know. Do you, I wondered? Do you really? She dried hands, turned. People get older. There it was again. Older, not age, limitation, dependency, weakness. People say older when they mean less capable. I noticed, I said. You know what I mean? I know exactly what people mean. Silence. Tiny, sharp. Then Nathan came back inside. Moment gone. But not really, because moments like that don't disappear. They store themselves. Later. As I drove home. 8:41 p.m. Dark roads, streetlights, country radio low, Ford rattling slightly over rough pavement. Emma's voice kept replaying. Grandpa's room, not house, room, meaning, somewhere, somebody. Had already built future plans with furniture placement and assumptions. Children don't lie well, adults do. Emma handed me something that night, not proof, not evidence, something more valuable, direction. And suddenly I knew exactly what needed to happen next. There are two kinds of friends you end up with by the time you reach your late 60s. The first kind tells you what you want to hear. The second kind tells you the truth and hands you coffee while you deal with it. Walt Brennan belonged firmly in Category 2. Saturday morning, 8:15 a.m. Clouds hanging low over Cedar Rapids. Cold enough for a jacket, warm enough Midwestern men refuse to wear one. I pulled my Ford F-150 into the Hy-Vee parking lot on Oakland Road. Walt's old red Silverado sat crooked across two spaces. Not because he couldn't park, because after retirement he stopped respecting geometry. I found him inside near produce holding 2 apples, studying them like he planned to negotiate. You buying fruit or interrogating it? I asked. One of these is lying. They're apples. Exactly. You need hobbies. I had hobbies. They became knee pain. We grabbed coffee from the in-store cafe. Black for him. Half coffee and half poor decisions for me. We sat near the front windows, people moving carts outside, rainwater drying from overnight storms, Saturday life, ordinary life. Funny thing about ordinary life. Disasters walk into it quietly. Walt stirred his coffee. Talk. I told him everything. Dinner, Melissa, Emma, Grandpa's room, the silence afterward, Nathan avoiding eye contact, the pressure about downsizing, all of it. Walt listened, didn't interrupt, didn't joke, which worried me more. Finally, he leaned back. You think she's trying to push you out? Feels that way? Feel isn't fact. I know. You got proof. Not enough. You got instinct. Too much. Walt nodded slowly. Bad combination. Tell me about it. What's Nathan know? I don't know. That's problem number 1. I know. You gonna ask him? Not yet. Why? Because people reveal more when they think they're ahead. Walt stared at me. There he is. Who? Insurance investigator Sully. Retired. No. Retired people play pickleball. You hate pickleball. I hate people enjoying pickleball. I laughed. Needed that more than I realized. Walt pointed coffee at me. Question. Okay. What's Melissa's weakness? I frowned. What? Everybody got one. That's not how life works. That's exactly how life works, I thought. Melissa, organized, sharp, driven, patient. Mostly. Then it clicked. Control. Walt nodded. Go on. She likes control. Details. Schedules. Outcomes. Things happening her way. What else? I thought harder. Then, she hates waiting. Better. What does that mean? It means if somebody thinks they're winning, Walt said quietly, they speed up. I leaned back. There it was. Something old. Something familiar. Fraud investigations taught me patterns. Walt taught me people. Greed gets impatient, he said, always. We sat quietly a while. Traffic moving outside, Saturday crowds, college kid carrying flowers, young couple arguing near entrance, old man loading groceries slowly into Buick trunk. Life, simple, moving. I looked down. You know worst part. Walt waited. I keep hoping I'm wrong. Yeah. Melissa isn't bad person. No. Nathan isn't bad kid. No. So why does this feel like this? Walt stared outside. Because old men learn truths younger men hate. Because people don't become selfish overnight, he said quietly. They become comfortable. That one sat heavy. Comfortable, not evil. Comfortable. Big difference, big damage. We left Hy-Vee around 10. Walt followed me back to Forest Drive. Not because I asked. Because that's friendship. He walked into my kitchen, looked around. Still haven't fixed mailbox. No. Cabinet drawer still sticks. Yes. You're impossible. I've cultivated consistency. He snorted. Where paperwork was crass, kitchen table, folders spread out, notes, timeline, names, dates, text message. Walt adjusted glasses, read quietly. 5 minutes, 10, 15. No talking. Finally, you notice this, what wanting need everything, lined up before he changes his mind. I noticed. Problem. I know. No. He pointed. Think harder. I stared, read again. Nothing. What changes his mind? So somebody thinks discussion already happened. My stomach tightened because he was right. Not planning future. Operating inside assumed agreement or false agreement. Different thing. Dangerous thing. Walt looked toward window. You talk lawyer yet? No. You should. Feels dramatic. You know what dramatic is. What be you, moving truck showing up one day? Funny? Not funny, but funny. I'll think about it. No? You'll call? Walt, Sully. Silence. Call? I sighed. Fine. Good. Lunch happened accidentally, which happens when old friends start talking. Frozen pizza, my oven, too hot, burned edge. Walt blamed oven. I blamed user error. Your cooking killed this pizza. My cooking gave pizza character. Your character tastes like charcoal. You still eating it? I'm hungry. We laughed. Real laughter. Deep. Needed. There's something healing about laughing while your life feels uncertain. Like your brain reminding itself not everything hurts. Around 2 p.m, Walt left. Before leaving, he stopped near front door. Turned back. One more thing. What? Don't get emotional. I won't. Don't get angry. I won't. Don't get clever. I literally spent career being clever. Exactly why I'm worried, he pointed. Paper. Facts. Timeline. No guessing. No assumptions. Okay. And Sully. Yeah? If this gets ugly, pause. Small. Heavy. You remember Emma. That hit harder than expected. Because he was right. Whatever happened, Emma mattered. Most, always. I nodded. I know. After he left, the house felt quieter. Different quiet. Prepared quiet. I cleaned kitchen, folded blanket, checked front mailbox, still crooked, still leaning left. Some things stay broken longer than they should. Phone buzzed. Melissa. Text message. Short. Simple. Emma wanted to know if you can come to soccer Wednesday. I stared. Longer than necessary. Normal text. Normal life. Again. Life wearing ordinary clothes. I typed back. Wouldn't miss it. Sent. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Then, she loves having you there. I looked at message. Read it twice. People are complicated. I need you to understand that. Complicated people make terrible decisions. Terrible decisions don't erase humanity. Makes things harder, not easier. Around 4:30, I walked into my office. Small room, bookshelf, old awards. Insurance industry plaques nobody cares about after retirement. File cabinet, desk, window-facing backyard. I sat, opened laptop, started new document. Title June 14th, timeline date, names, events, evidence, pattern, pressure, sequence. Investigator brain fully awake now. And somewhere beneath all that paperwork and preparation, something else sat quietly. Fear. Not fear of losing house. Fear of losing people. Because houses can survive damage. Families sometimes don't. But Walt said something before leaving. One sentence. One stupid sentence. And I couldn't stop thinking about it. Greed gets impatient. Always. Which meant one thing. Melissa wouldn't wait forever. Eventually, she'd make a mistake. People make mistakes when they're tired. People make mistakes when they're scared. But the biggest mistakes, those happen when people think they've already won. Wednesday afternoon. Emma's soccer game. Pleasant Valley Sports Complex, Marion, Iowa. Temperature around 68 degrees. Cloud cover. Wind moving hard enough to make folding chairs wobble. Youth soccer parents lined along the field, pretending they understood strategy. They didn't. 9-year-old soccer mostly looks like chaos negotiating with gravity. Emma wore jersey number 11, blue uniform, pink cleats, hair pulled back crooked, because Nathan never figured out ponytails and Melissa had left work late. I sat beside Walt, because of course Walt came. You don't have grandkids, I told him. I support local athletic disasters. That's rude. Truth isn't rude. Emma kicked air twice, missed ball once, scored once, celebrated like she'd won the World Cup. Walt stood up cheering, nearly dropped coffee. That's my... He stopped, looked around. Neighbor child. Smooth, I said. I panicked. Clearly. Normal afternoon. Sun finally breaking through clouds. Kids yelling. Parents clapping. Life. Simple. Normal. Then Melissa showed up. Late, walking quickly, phone in hand, black jacket, white sneakers, work badge still hanging from purse, stressed, distracted, important, or trying to look important. She smiled. Sorry. Office emergency. Nathan nodded. No problem. Emma ran over. Mom, quick hug. Back to field. Kids recover faster than adults. Melissa sat beside Nathan. Didn't see me watching. Didn't know I watch patterns, watch hands, watch posture, watch tension. Old habits. She checked phone 3 times in 4 minutes. Opened email, closed email, texted, brows furrowed, jaw tight, pressure, something moving. Walt noticed too, quietly. She looks busy. Yeah. Work, maybe. Or. We sat quietly. Game ended. Emma's team won. Orange slices appeared, juice boxes, parents doing parent things. I walked Emma toward parking lot. She held my hand. 9-year-olds eventually stopped doing that. You don't realize when final time happens. One day, it simply already happened. Grandpa. Yeah. Mom says maybe we'll see you more. My stomach tightened. Keep voice normal. What do you mean? She said families should live closer. Interesting, very interesting. Did she? Yeah. When? Yesterday. Anything else? Emma thought. Kids always think before truth. Adults think before lies. Different process. Mom said your stairs are hard. My stairs. 2-story house. Forest Drive. You think my stairs are hard? No. Good. You run upstairs. I absolutely do not. You do. I survive stairs aggressively. Emma laughed. Mom says old people fall. There it was. Not cruelty. Narrative, building narrative, preparing idea, slowly, carefully, like planting seeds. Interesting. Dangerous. I walked her to Nathan's truck. Nathan loading folding chairs. Melissa standing near passenger side. Phone pressed to ear. Voice low, sharp, focused. Then, something. Small. Most people would have missed it. I didn't, because 34 years teaches strange reflexes. Melissa opened passenger door. Paper slipped, fell. Parking lot pavement. Wind pushed it. She didn't notice. I bent down automatically, picked it up. Single sheet, printed, top corner logo, U-Haul. Interesting, very interesting. My eyes moved fast. Professional reflex, reservation. June 14th, pickup location, Cedar Rapids, truck size. 15-foot, storage blankets, furniture dolly. Melissa turned, saw paper. Too late. Oh, quick smile, too quick. Thanks. I handed it over. Neutral face, neutral voice. Moving somebody. Tiny pause, tiny, but real. Co-worker, lie arrive fast. My office manager. Ah, her brother. Nice. Smile, smile, smile. People smile more when nervous. She folded paper immediately. Purse, zipped. Conversation over. Too fast. Way too fast. I said nothing. Need you understand something. Evidence matters. Timing matters. But behavior. Behavior tells truth first. Nathan walked over. You ready, Dad? Yeah? Normal voice, normal face, normal. Melissa avoided eye contact. 1 second, 2 seconds, enough. Drive home quiet, thought quiet. Dangerous combination. Forest Drive looked different when I pulled in. Same house, different understanding. I sat inside truck, engine off, hands on steering wheel, U-Haul, June 14th. Exactly same date. Moving date. Text message. Available by then. Need paperwork, need timing, need alignment. Pattern. Phone buzzed. Walt. You saw it too. Not question statement. I called. You watching me now? No. Then how? Because I know your face. That's unsettling. Good. I saw reservation. I know. Office manager story? I know. You believe it? No. Silence. Truck quiet. Late sunlight. Maple tree shadows. Mailbox leaning left. Still broken. Still waiting. What now? Walt asked. I document. Good. I wait. Good. I watch. Good. You gonna say good after everything? Good. I laughed. Needed that. Again. You know what bothers me? I said. What? 15-foot truck. Meaning? Too big. Silence. Long silence. Then, oh. Yeah. Oh. Furniture. Boxes. Movement. Planning. Not discussion. Not possibility. Planning. Walt voice quieter now. She thinks June 14th happens. Looks like. Question. Yeah. Nathan, no. I don't know. Need answer. I know. You avoiding it. Yes. Why? Because truth has weight. And sometimes you already know lifting it changes everything. I don't know. I said quietly. But that wasn't true. I knew. I just wasn't ready. That night. 8:16 p.m. Kitchen, Forest Drive. Same oak table. Same cold coffee habit. Laptop open. Timeline document. Growing. Dates. Text. Soccer. U-Haul. Conversations. Emma. Reservation. Pattern. Pressure. I added something new. Category. Mistakes. Because greed creates mistakes. Always. Melissa hated waiting. Needed control. Needed certainty. Which meant she'd move too fast eventually. Question wasn't if. Question was when. Phone buzzed, unknown number, local area code, voicemail notification, interesting. I played it. Woman voice, professional, fast. Hi, Melissa, Heather Doyle calling, quick update, need confirmation before Friday so we stay on timeline. Call me back. Message ended. Heather Doyle, realtor. Same Heather. I sat perfectly still. Voicemail, wrong number. Again, twice. 2 mistakes. Same person. No coincidence. No misunderstanding. No paranoia pattern. Clear now. Sharp now. Dangerous now. Need you stay with me here. Because next part changed everything. I opened Eleanor's old estate documents. Trust paperwork. Planning files. Things I hadn't looked at carefully in years. Paper shifted beneath my hand. Old folder, blue tab, Eleanor's handwriting. And 5 minutes later, I realized Melissa wasn't just making plans around my house. She was making plans without understanding who actually protected it. People think protection looks dramatic. Security cameras, locked safes, alarm systems, big legal contracts. Sometimes it does. But sometimes protection looks like a woman sitting at a dining room table 17 years earlier saying, sign here too. Thursday morning, 6:12 a.m. Forest Drive. Rain again. Iowa weather likes repetition. Coffee steaming beside me. Kitchen lights still on because sunrise hadn't fully arrived. And Eleanor's old estate folder sitting open in front of me. Blue tab. Worn corners. Her handwriting, neat, sharp, organized. Everything Eleanor touched stayed organized. My side of the closet looked like a weather event. Her side looked like a department store display. Marriage teaches compromise. Mostly one person compromising with chaos. I adjusted my glasses. Read slowly. Trust documents, estate planning updates, property language, beneficiary instructions. Things we signed years ago, things I remembered, things I forgot. Funny thing about long marriages, you divide responsibilities. Eleanor handled planning. I handled problems. She thought ahead. I reacted. Good system. Until suddenly one person disappears. Then you spend years discovering things they quietly protected. I kept reading, paragraph, page, signature, legal language. Then, there, something. I sat back, read it again. Slower. No. No way. Then again. My chest tightened, not fear, recognition. Eleanor, I said quietly. Because suddenly I remembered. 17 years earlier. Housing market ugly. Economy ugly. Everybody nervous. Nathan younger. Emma not born yet. Eleanor sitting at this exact kitchen table. Stacks of paperwork. Claire Whitmore across from us. Claire, real estate attorney, 52 now, 45 back then. Sharp woman, impossible to rush. Charged by the hour and somehow made silence feel expensive. You need protection layers, Claire said that day. Protection from what I'd asked. Life. Helpful. Lawyers love mysterious answers. Eleanor understood immediately. She always understood faster. Future planning, she'd said. Exactly, Claire answered. At the time I signed paperwork, mostly because Eleanor asked. Marriage after 30 years creates trust like that. You don't review every sentence. You trust character. I trusted Eleanor completely. Still did. Even now. Especially now. I grabbed my phone, called Claire's office. Receptionist answered. Whitmore Legal. Sullivan Foster. Pause. Oh. Recognition. Good sign. One moment. Claire picked up. Sullivan. Morning? Everything okay? No. Silence. Professional silence. Lawyer silence. Meaning talk. I need help understanding trust paperwork. Long pause. Come in. Today. 10. Thanks. Sullivan. Yeah? Bring everything. Claire's office sat downtown Cedar Rapids near 3rd Avenue. Brick building, small parking lot, quiet lobby. Neutral paint colors designed by people who hate excitement. 10:02 a.m. Claire met me herself. Dark blazer, reading glasses, same sharp eyes. Sullivan. Claire, you look older. You're charging for insults now. Inflation. Good. Familiar. Needed familiar. Office smelled like coffee and paper. Somehow reassuring. I spread documents across conference table. Trust paperwork, estate planning, property documents. Claire adjusted glasses, started reading, no talking. 10 minutes? 15? Finally? She looked up. You forgot. Apparently, no. You forgot Eleanor. That hit harder because she was right. Not forgotten, but underestimated. Different thing. Claire folded hands. Eleanor protected this house years ago. I know that now. No? You don't? She turned paperwork, pointed. Sullivan Foster Revocable Trust. Created 2009. Modified 2014. Updated 2018. Year before Eleanor got sick. I remembered. Barely. Hospital appointments, stress, work, life. Eleanor adjusted beneficiary structure, Claire said. Meaning. Meaning Forest Drive doesn't transfer the way you think. I stared. What? You remain owner. Yes. But trust protection exists. Against what? Claire looked directly at me. External pressure. My heartbeat slowed. Dangerous thing. Slow heartbeat means investigator brain waking up. Fully. Explain. Eleanor worried. About? Future complications. Define complications. Claire didn't smile. People change. Simple sentence, heavy sentence. She worried Nathan, I asked quietly. No. Melissa, no. Then who? Claire leaned back. Everyone. Silence, quiet office. Traffic outside. HVAC humming. Paper sitting between us. Eleanor believed assets create pressure. Families change. Money changes. Fear changes. Security changes. I looked down. Trust paperwork. Blue ink. Eleanor's signature. Still looked like Eleanor somehow. Confident. Steady. Claire pointed again. Final beneficiary designation. I froze. Read. Read again. Emma, my granddaughter Emma Foster, final protected beneficiary, not Nathan, not Melissa, Emma. My throat tightened. Eleanor. Yeah, Claire said quietly. She wanted protection across generations. I leaned back slowly. Images flooding. Eleanor baking Christmas cookies, helping Emma color, reading books, holding tiny hands, planning, always planning. Claire watched quietly, then, What's going on? I told her everything. Text messages, Heather Doyle, June 14th, pressure, U-Haul, property records, Melissa, Emma, soccer field, Grandpa's room. Claire listened. Lawyers and investigators share something. Good ones don't interrupt. Finally, do you believe Melissa forged documents? Claire asked. No proof? Attempted pressure. Maybe. Manipulation. Feels likely. Did Nathan know? I don't know. Claire nodded slowly. Good. Good. Uncertainty prevents mistakes. I hate uncertainty. I know. What do I do? Nothing. I hate that answer too. Good. You and Walt spending time together too much. Claire smiled. Small, brief. Professional people save smiles. Listen carefully, she said. Okay. Protection exists. Okay. Do not reveal everything. Okay. Do not accuse. Okay. Do not warn. I wasn't. Sullivan? Silence. Okay. People reveal themselves under pressure. Sound familiar? Walt, Claire, same lesson, different profession. Interesting. June 14th, I asked quietly. Claire folded paperwork, thought carefully. Let June 14th arrive. My stomach tightened. You serious? Very. What if documentation, facts, sequence, evidence? Not emotion, never emotion. I knew that. Of course I knew that. Harder following your own rules. Claire handed folder back. Eleanor protected your house, she said quietly. No. More than house. What? Family. I drove home slower. Forest Drive, Maple Tree, crooked mailbox, same house, different understanding. Eleanor knew, years ago, long before any of this. Not Melissa specifically, not Nathan. Human nature, pressure, fear, greed, time. She protected Emma, protected future, protected me. And suddenly something changed. Before I was investigating, now I was waiting. Because Melissa thought she understood Forest Drive. Square footage, property value, location, market value. But she missed something. The most expensive mistake greedy people make. They measure assets, not history. And they never realize somebody else built defenses years before they arrived. Some conversations don't feel like conversations. They feel like standing on a frozen lake. Every sentence carries weight. Every pause sounds dangerous. And somewhere underneath everything, you keep wondering if the ice already cracked before you got there. 3 days before June 14th, Tuesday, 11:38 a.m. Culver's on Collins Road. Nathan picked the place, which told me something immediately. People choose familiar places when they're nervous. Nathan loved Culver's, Butterburger, cheese curds, root beer, predictable comfort food, comfort locations. Human beings build little shelters when stress arrives. I got there early? Of course I did. Habit. Retirement changes schedules, not instincts. I took a booth near the window. Gray clouds outside. Light traffic. Lunch crowd beginning. Teenagers working behind counter. Fryers humming. People living ordinary Tuesdays. My coffee sat untouched. Nathan walked in exactly 6 minutes late, which meant something too. Nathan hated being late, 41 years old. Still apologized when traffic delayed him 3 minutes. Today he didn't apologize. Interesting. Blue button-up shirt, work badge clipped belt side, phone in hand, shoulders tight, eyes tired. Hey, Dad. Hey. Sat down, picked menu up, put menu down, picked it back up. Nervous. Very nervous. Server came. Nathan ordered quickly. Double Butterburger, fries, Dr. Pepper, me coffee, chicken sandwich. Didn't matter. I wasn't there for lunch. Neither was he. Silence settled. You know that silence? Family silence, not empty, heavy. History sitting in chairs beside you. Nathan finally exhaled. Work okay? I asked, busy. Server migration? Yeah. You solve it, mostly. You always do. Tiny smile, gone fast. There was my boy, still in there, still somewhere. I let silence work. People feel silence, especially guilty people. Finally, Dad. Yeah. You ever think about moving? There it was. No setup, no warning. Straight line. Interesting. Very interesting. I took coffee slowly, bought time. Old investigator trick. People reveal more filling their own tension. Why? Nathan looked toward the window. Bad sign. Just asking. No? Okay. Silence again. Then Forrest drives a lot. There it is. What? Not your question. What do you mean? Who brought it up? Dad. Who? Long pause. Too long. Melissa. Honesty. Small honesty. Still honesty. Okay? Nathan rubbed hands together. Nervous habit since middle school. Did it before baseball tryouts. Did it before driver's test. Doing it now. Interesting. She worries, he said, about. You living alone. I'm fine. I know. Do you? Yeah? No? Silence. Sharp silence. Nathan shifted. Dad. No. I need you to understand something. He looked up. Finally. Eye contact. Good. I raised you in that house. I know. Your mother died in that house. Silence. You learned to ride bike on that street. I know. You broke your wrist jumping stairs in front yard. I was 12. You were stupid. I was adventurous. You were stupid. Tiny smile. Gone fast. Needed then. Back. Reality. Nathan. Yeah. Talk straight. Long silence. Long enough fries arrived. Server cheerful. Wrong timing. Life does that. People bring ketchup while families crack apart. Nathan waited until server left. Then quietly, Melissa thinks maybe eventually we'd all be better closer together. There. Closer together. Interesting phrase. Carefully built. Soft edges. Hard intention. Meaning. Meaning maybe. Pause. Tiny. Dangerous. Maybe we'd use Forest Drive. Use, not visit, not help. Use. Who's we? Dad. Who's we? Me. Melissa. Emma. There. Finally. Truth. Not whole truth. Part truth. Enough. I leaned back slowly, didn't raise voice, didn't get angry. Anger ends conversations. Questions reveal people. Melissa tell you I want to move? Nathan froze. Actually froze. Tiny movement. Eyes, jaw, breathing, pattern, God, pattern. Did she? Silence, then quietly. She said you talked. There it was. Stay with me. Because this matters. More than text messages. More than paperwork. More than U-Haul reservations. Because betrayal hurts differently when somebody else tells your story before you can. What exactly she say? Nathan stared table. Your dad knows it's time. My chest tightened. Not because house. Because Eleanor. Because Forest Drive. Because memories. Because somebody took my silence and translated it into permission. She said that. Yeah? You believed her? Long silence. Nathan finally whispered, I thought maybe. Maybe. Coward word. Safe word. Maybe protects people from responsibility. Look at me. Nathan looked up, eyes tired. Older suddenly, smaller somehow. Did you ask me? No. Did you call? No. Did you come over? No. I raised you better than that. Silence. Heavy now, real. Nathan swallowed hard. I know. No? You don't? People think disappointment sounds loud. Usually doesn't. Usually sounds quiet. That hurts more. I wasn't trying to hurt you, Nathan said quietly. I know. I thought, no. Don't tell me what you thought. Tell me what you did. Silence. Long. Painful. Truth finally arrived. I didn't ask enough questions. No, he didn't. And suddenly, for first time, I understood something. Nathan wasn't mastermind. Nathan wasn't planner. Nathan wasn't manipulator. Nathan was weaker, Different problem, different pain. Melissa moved. Nathan drifted. Big difference. Big consequence. I need to ask something, I said quietly. Nathan nodded. Did Melissa ever mention paperwork? His eyes changed. Small thing, tiny thing, enough. Paperwork. Interesting. Paperwork for what? Lie? Bad lie. My son lied terribly, always had. Age 11, cookie jar, could never lie with eyes. 41, still couldn't. Nathan? Dad. Paperwork. Long silence. Then she talked to somebody. Who? Heather. There, Heather Doyle. Realtor, same Heather. About. Options. What options? House value. Timing. Future planning. Future planning. Interesting, very interesting. I sat back, heart strangely calm, because truth finally had shape. Nathan spoke quietly. She wasn't trying to hurt you. I almost laughed, not because funny, because human beings always say that sentence. Wasn't trying to hurt you. Pain still hurts. Intent changes explanation, not damage. I need to ask one more thing. Nathan nodded. June 14th. Everything changed. Instantly, color drained, eyes widened. There it was. Truth, entire truth, or close enough. You know June 14th, I said quietly. Silence. God. Silence. Nathan looked down. Hands shaking now. Small. Barely. Enough. Yeah, he whispered. And suddenly everything changed. There is a strange kind of calm that shows up when you already know the storm is coming. Not peace, not acceptance. Something colder, cleaner, like standing at your front window, watching dark clouds roll towards your house and realizing you've already boarded up the glass. June 14th arrived on a Friday, exactly the way Heather Doyle's text message said it would. I woke up at 5:41 a.m. Didn't need an alarm. Didn't sleep much anyway. You ever notice how important days wake you before the clock does? Coffee, black, extra strong, kitchen quiet, forest drive still dark outside. The maple tree Eleanor planted moved gently in early wind, mailbox still leaning left. I should have fixed that thing years ago. Funny what survives chaos. I showered, shaved, button-down shirt, dark jeans. Not because appearance mattered, because discipline mattered, control mattered. People think preparation makes fear disappear. It doesn't. Preparation gives fear somewhere to sit quietly. By 7:10 a.m., my kitchen table looked like a legal war room. Folder 1, timeline folder 2, property documents, folder 3, trust paperwork, folder 4, evidence, printed screenshots, voicemail transcription, county records, Heather's text, U-Haul timeline, everything, paper, facts, sequence. Exactly what Walt said, exactly what Claire said. My phone buzzed. Walt, alive, barely. You eat coffee counts, or no? Close enough. Coming over. You don't have to. Didn't ask. Friendship after 70. Not complicated. 7:42 a.m. Walt arrived carrying gas station coffee and enough nervous energy for both of us. You look terrible, he said. You said that last week. Worse now. Encouraging. He stepped inside, looked around. Kitchen, folders, documents. You ready? No. Good. What? People too ready get stupid. I hate your wisdom. Free wisdom worth exactly what you paid. I almost smiled. Almost. Walt walked toward front window, looked outside. Quiet neighborhood, Friday morning, neighbors leaving for work. Life normal. Life always normal right before it isn't. You tell police? Walt asked. Civil standby requested. Claire, coming? Nathan, no. Melissa, no. Good. Silence, coffee. Clock ticking. 8:03 a.m. Claire Whitmore pulled into driveway. Dark sedan, professional calm, lawyer energy, which somehow makes people more nervous than police. She walked inside carrying legal folder. You okay? She asked. No. Good. You people rehearse that answer. Experience. She set papers down, reviewed everything. Again. Last time. Listen carefully, Claire said quietly. No accusations. I know. No anger. I know. No speeches. I know. Sullivan? What? No speeches. Walt snorted. Good luck. At 11 a.m. 1 minute. Funny thing about waiting. 1 minute becomes enormous. Kitchen quiet. Clock louder. Breathing louder. Memory louder. Eleanor louder, not literally. You know what I mean. People leave. Love doesn't. Then, 8:12. AM truck, white, orange logo, U-Haul, right on time. 15 foot, exactly like reservation, exactly. My chest tightened once, hard, then settled, because now facts, sequence, pattern. 3 people climbed out. Driver, 2 movers, young, confused, normal workers doing jobs, nothing personal, nothing evil. Then Melissa, black SUV, pulling behind truck, Nathan beside her, passenger seat. God, seeing Nathan hurt more. Not because surprise, because confirmation. Heather Doyle arrived 30 seconds later, white Lexus. Same one Walt remembered. Interesting detail, useful detail, last vehicle. Small locksmith van. I looked at Walt. Walt looked at me. Well, he said quietly, that's aggressive. Front door knock, 3 sharp hits. Professional confidence. Melissa. I open door, smile, calm, always calm. Sully, Melissa said, not Dad. Interesting. Nathan. My son looked exhausted. Didn't meet eyes. Heather standing behind, holding folder, movers waiting awkwardly. Locksmith checking phone. Real people. Real consequences. Morning, Melissa said. Morning. Silence. Bird noise somewhere. Wind moving leaves. Neighborhood normal. My life not normal. Melissa smiled, controlled, practiced. We should talk. Okay? Nathan finally looked up, eyes red. Didn't sleep either. Good. Not good. You know what I mean. Melissa stepped forward. Voice soft, prepared. We've talked about this. No, you talked. Different thing. Talked about what? I asked calmly. Sully. Smile tighter now. Moving. Interesting. We agreed. No. Pause. Tiny. Important. No. Melissa said. No. Heather shifted. Subtle, professional instinct. Something wrong. Good. Melissa recovered quickly. Maybe confusion. No. Nathan. My son looked trapped. Actually trapped. God. I hated that. We talked about options. Nathan said quietly. Options. Coward word. Safe word. Melissa kept moving. Too fast now. Greed speeding up. Exactly like Walt said. You said Forest Drive was becoming difficult. No. You said stairs. No. You said maintenance. No. Smile disappearing. Pressure rising. Interesting. Very interesting. Then she made mistake. Big one. People always make one. You agreed June made sense. June. Not moving someday. June. Specific. Timeline. Confirmation. Greed. Impatience. There. Finally. I looked directly at Claire. Claire opened folder quietly. Professional. Calm. Melissa Foster, Claire said. Voice lawyer cold. Dangerous voice. Melissa blinked. What? Claire Whitmore. Counsel representing Sullivan Foster. Heather Doyle went pale. Actually pale. Good. Very good. Melissa looked at Nathan. Nathan looked sick. Real sick. Not acting. Real. Claire continued. Documentation indicates Sullivan Foster never authorized property transfer discussion. Silence. Wind. Bird noise. Neighbor backing truck down driveway. Life continuing. Melissa stared. You don't understand. No, Claire said calmly. We do. I stepped forward. Not angry, not loud. Just steady. 34 years experience. Pattern recognition. Human behavior. Truth. Melissa. Silence. You told Nathan I want to move. No answer. You told Emma. No answer. You contacted Heather? No answer. You arranged truck? No answer. You scheduled locksmith? Locksmith suddenly looked terrified, poor guy. Wrong job, wrong day. Heather spoke quietly. Melissa, too late, way too late. I pulled single sheet from folder. U-Haul reservation, June 14th. 15 foot, name, timeline, then voicemail transcript. Heather Doyle, need confirmation before Friday, stay on timeline, then trust paperwork. Claire stepped beside me. Eleanor Foster trust protections remain active. Melissa froze, actually froze. What? Forest Drive protections prevent unauthorized transfer structure assumptions. Confusion, panic, realization. Beautiful sequence. Not revenge. Truth. Different thing. Nathan whispered Melissa. Voice broken. Completely broken. And for first time she realized. This wasn't an old man caught unprepared. This wasn't confusion. This wasn't weakness. She hadn't been planning around retirement. She'd been stepping directly into a trap built years earlier by a woman she'd underestimated. My wife, Eleanor Foster. People think winning feels loud, like shouting, like slamming doors, like finally saying every angry thing you've carried quietly for weeks. It doesn't. Not real victories. Real victories usually arrive quietly, and sometimes they don't feel like winning at all. Forest Drive, June 14th, 8:19 a.m. Nobody moved, not Melissa, not Nathan, not Heather. Even the movers stood awkwardly beside the truck like men who accidentally walked into the wrong movie. Wind moved through the maple tree Eleanor planted, leaves shifting softly, peaceful. Strange how life keeps looking normal while your world changes shape. Melissa spoke first, voice smaller now, less polished. You planned this. No? Interesting. Very interesting. People cornered by truth often call preparation manipulation. No, I said quietly. I prepared. You're making me look like no. Claire stepped forward calmly. Melissa. Professional voice, sharp, controlled. Difficult conversations don't become fraud because they're uncomfortable. Melissa folded her arms. Defense posture, protective, human, not monster, human. Need you understand that. Because monsters make stories easy. People make them painful. Nathan still hadn't said anything. My son stood beside Melissa looking like somebody erased the ground underneath him. 41 years old. Still my boy. Still, always. Even then. Heather Doyle cleared her throat. Professional panic. Useful thing to observe. I think maybe I misunderstood some information. Melissa turned, fast. What? Heather straightened. No written authorization existed. You said no. Heather interrupted quietly. You said your father-in-law wanted options. Not ownership, not transfer. Options. Interesting. Melissa blinked. Once, twice, pressure rising, greed losing balance. Exactly like Walt said. People speed up when they think they're winning. People collapse when momentum disappears. I wasn't stealing anything, Melissa said suddenly. Nobody answered, because sometimes silence makes people tell truth faster. I wasn't. I just paused. Breathing harder now, voice shaking. Interesting, real. I wanted stability. There it was, finally. Truth, not whole truth, but real truth. Nathan closed eyes. Small movement, heavy movement. Melissa kept talking because pressure creates honesty, sometimes. We need room. We need security. Emma deserves no, Nathan said quietly. Everyone turned, first time, first real thing he'd said. No. Voice shaking, quiet, broken, beautiful, painful. No, he said again. We needed honesty. Silence. God. Silence. Melissa stared. Actually stared, like she didn't recognize him. Maybe she didn't. People grow strange things inside themselves when pressure gets high enough. Nathan looked at me, first time. Really looked. Dad, voice cracked. I messed up. Simple. Small. Hardest sentence in world sometimes. I know. No. I really messed up. Yeah. I should have asked. Yeah. I should have talked to you. Yeah. I thought, I know. No? His eyes filled. 41 years old. Still looked 12 suddenly. I let somebody else tell me what you wanted. There. Truth. Actual truth. Not Melissa controlling him. Nathan surrendering responsibility. Different thing. Still painful. Melissa looked toward him. Then me. Then Forest Drive. Then trust paperwork. Then Claire. Reality moving into place. Slow, heavy, irreversible. I wasn't trying to hurt you, she whispered. I believed her. That's what made it harder. Stay with me here, because this matters. Bad people are easier to hate. Melissa wasn't bad. Melissa was scared. Scared people justify dangerous things. She grew up without stability, without guarantees, without security. Forest Drive wasn't memories to her. It was safety, value, protection, future. Problem was she forgot something. People aren't property. Families aren't assets. Love isn't leverage. Claire quietly stepped forward. Truck should leave. Simple, professional, final. Movers climbed back inside. Locksmith left first. Smart man. Heather apologized quietly. Professional reputation damage sitting visibly on her shoulders. Then she drove away. Silence again. Nathan looked at Melissa. Long, complicated. Marriage history living inside one look. You married long enough, you learn entire conversations happen silently. I can't do this, Nathan said quietly. Melissa looked terrified. Actually terrified. Good. Not because suffering, because truth. Truth finally arrived. We need help, Nathan said. We need serious help. Melissa started crying, real crying, not performance, not manipulation, real, human, broken. I was trying to protect us. Nathan nodded slowly. I know. No, I know why. Silence. But why doesn't make it okay? God, my son, finally, finally. Melissa looked toward me, eyes red, voice small. I'm sorry. Long silence. Need you understand something. Forgiveness and trust aren't same thing. People confuse them. I don't. I believe you, I said quietly. Confusion crossed her face. What? I believe you're sorry. Tears. More tears. But Forest Drive isn't changing hands. She nodded. Slowly. I know. And Emma never carries this. Another nod. I know. No. Voice firmer. You really understand me. Emma, always Emma. Children don't inherit adult damage, or they shouldn't. Eventually. Cars left, truck gone, people gone. Forest Drive quiet again. Too quiet. Walt stayed, of course. We sat front porch, two old men, coffee, wind, maple tree, mailbox still leaning left. Well, Walt said, well, you okay? No? Good. There you go again. Truth, silence, bird noise. Normal neighborhood sounds, life continuing. I don't feel good, I admitted quietly. You weren't supposed to. I thought I would. No? Why? Because winning family problems still means family problems happened. That old idiot, always right. Weeks passed. Nathan started therapy, marriage counseling too. Melissa joined, not immediately, eventually. Healing doesn't move fast. Trust moves slower. Emma still came Saturdays. Cookies, cards, soccer stories, cheating at games. Life, normal life, different, but normal. Nathan started showing up more. Not perfectly. Trying. Real trying. Hard thing. Good thing. Melissa came once. 3 months later, Forest Drive, front porch, sunset. No speeches, no excuses, just quiet. I'm working on it, she said. I know. I really am. I know. People can grow. Slow, painful, possible. Not guaranteed possible. I fixed the mailbox, finally. Took 14 years. Eleanor would have laughed. Ford still runs, mostly. Kitchen table still there, oak. Heavy, strong, like memories, like consequences, like love. And some nights, when house gets quiet, I still talk to Eleanor. Not because I'm stuck, because love doesn't end. It changes rooms. And before I finish, I need to tell you something. If people in your life start making decisions around you instead of with you, pay attention. If somebody mistakes kindness for weakness, pay attention. If somebody tells your story for you, take it back calmly, clearly, completely. You don't have to become cruel to protect yourself. You don't have to become loud to become strong. And boundaries aren't punishment. Sometimes boundaries are love wearing work boots, family matters, grace matters, forgiveness matters, but truth matters too, especially truth. If this story meant something to you, join our community by hitting that like button and subscribing for more real, raw, and family-centered stories. Drop a comment below and tell us, have you ever been in a situation like this? We read every single one. And as always, thank you for being a part of this.